Time is now at 8 o'clock. The Cicero Town Council meeting is now in session. Ms. Gary, if you could please take roll.
Joe Cox.
Present.
Eric Hayden.
Present.
Dennis Johnson. Christopher Lutz.
Whoa, we're going
Wow.
way back here.
Blast from the past.
Jacob Everett.
Present.
Emily Pearson.
Present.
We have a quorum with 4 members present. Has everybody had an opportunity to look over the agenda? Any revisions, additions?
I just want to talk about territory real quick, somewhere.
Fire, you're talking?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, there's really no sections here, so we can talk about it now.
Well, we can go through everything.
Okay.
That's fine.
All right, has everybody had a chance to look over the prior meeting minutes?
But we approving the agenda first?
Oh, sorry about
That's
that.
okay.
Getting a little out of order.
Motion to approve the agenda.
I second.
Motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We have an agenda.
Thank you.
Everybody had a chance to look over the prior minutes, dated 12/16? If so, I will entertain a motion.
That's wrong. Yeah, it is minutes. I'm getting lost in this. I'm sorry. That's
I'll
correct.
entertain a motion to approve the minutes dated 12/16.
So moved. Emily Pearson.
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Good to go there. The claims from 12/29, everybody had an opportunity to look over those. Only question I had on those is I noticed there was a line item that said garnishments.
Uh-huh.
I don't
In
think I've ever-
payroll? It's probably just payroll.
Payroll garnishment, okay, I've just never noticed.
We have a
it.
garnishment or two.
Okay. Oh, those are personal garnishments. Gotcha.
When you say payroll clear,
Uh-huh.
so this one was 83, almost 84,000. What does that mean?
Probably payroll. It is payroll. It's payroll to the bank.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, key bank payroll.
And fire is expensive.
10,000 a month.
Yeah.
All right, approval, or I'm sorry, any more questions on the claims? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the claims as presented.
So moved. Emily Pearson.
Motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Go ahead and pay the bills.
Thank you.
Moving on to the approval of transfer resolution dated 12/29/25-01. Anybody have any questions on that for Rhonda? If not, I will entertain a motion to approve the transfer resolution 12/29-2025-01.
So moved. Second.
Motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. On to fire territory.
Yeah, so thanks Jacob for standing in. Can you guys give, Dennis isn't here, but I mean, just quick output of that ISO discussion? And then I want to see kind of where everybody's thoughts are, if it's a viable option or not.
I wish Dennis was here, so we may need to continue this discussion when he's back. I ended up getting on the call late, so I missed part of this. You were on there, Dan, weren't you? Yeah. So you can feel free to chime in, because I missed a good chunk of that discussion. But specifically related to territory, I think my biggest takeaway was there's no way to get any definitive information out of ISO in terms of like what the ultimate impact would be of combining. That they won't, we can't give them like, hey, here's all this information, here's what we would do, here's what the plan would be, and then get back from them, here's what that's going to mean in terms of your rating. Like that, they just, you agree with that, Dan?
Yeah.
So like if we were to combine, you know, my interpretation is there's going to be pluses and minuses. You know, I think one of the advantages would be we're essentially looked at as having 2 stations rather than 1. But then how do you incorporate all the additional lane miles of road? How do you incorporate all of the, you know, areas that have water versus don't have water, all that kind of stuff? And so you've got like positives and negatives, and I don't believe there's any way ISO is going to tell us like how that's all going to shake out. So I think that's the hardest thing for me, is that you have, you know, if you did it, you'd be going in and not knowing for a year or two like what the actual result is in terms of your rating.
So I guess I'm a little confused by that, because Jackson Township does that right now with Arcadia. Arcadia is 5, and then they have they have Jackson Township without any water, so. And there's already something in place there.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm saying that we can't predict on the front end. We can't get a prediction from ISO where we're going to land. Like if we combined in a territory, we can't understand.
Would we be a 3
or a 9, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, right. Yeah. So that's, I think, to me was a concern. It's just like, it'd be a big shift without, and I'm not saying it's the right or wrong thing to do. I'm just saying it'd be a wholesale change without, like, we don't know what the endpoint is.
How can they not take criteria and give
Yeah,
us-
that's, I mean, it's frustrating to me. I mean, the guy from ISO was, I thought, very professional and had a great conversation with him. But it was at the same time very clear. Like, I was like, because I literally asked the exact question. I was like, we give you every piece of information you would need to say this is how we're going to run this territory. Can you tell us kind of what the outcome will be? And the answer was no.
So with their new fire station location and our fire station location, I think Danny talked about this, maybe we did. Did we ask that question? They said that's acceptable.
It gave us the impression that it was, I think, from the standpoint that way you could have two from each station show up and that would qualify.
I think that's, I mean, everything I've heard, including that last call, that's correct, right? We would be treated as just like a Noblesville or whatever, right? You've got multiple stations and you're one unit. So I do think that problem gets addressed.
Did anybody ask, I know we beat it to death, but if that's acceptable, did anybody ask the question that if we on run calls out of the CAD system, if they both get dispatched for these certain fire events, if that works? Did we ask that?
He made the comment, I think I wrote it down, automatic aid will never solve your requirement to get 4 people there.
See, I don't get it because it's the same thing.
I agree, but
It's
didn't he
the
say that,
exact
Dan?
same thing.
I was shocked I was very surprised when he said it, because especially even the first conversation we had with ISO, that wasn't ever brought up. There were other issues around automatic aid, but that statement was never made. But on this call, that was, I believe the way he said this, he made a statement similar to that, Dan, that, you know, basically automatic aid is never going to solve your 4-person problem or requirement. And then he said, you have to resolve your 4-person requirement, and then automatic aid can help benefit your score, basically. So it can help you once you get, yeah.
Yeah, I wrote down that 4 has to come from your station, this is outside of the territory to answer that question. Won't qualify as separate departments unless they're within 5 miles of each other.
I mean, that's a consistent message that they've said. I just don't get it. Because then territory, how does that work? But,
No, I agree. It doesn't make a lot of sense.
okay. So I guess, thanks for that. Any other key parts?
No, again, I definitely, we or you should check with Dennis and see what else he learned, but I did miss a chunk of it.
So I guess, is there any interest from the council at continuing with the territory discussion?
I mean, I guess it depends on what we're trying to accomplish. I would like to, for me at least, I would like to hear from Dennis and see what he has to say, because I haven't seen or talked to him since the meeting. I mean, obviously we've got ISO on one side, but then we've got the whole territory itself being another topic of
And we
discussion.
have funding problems that we can't support right now.
Yeah, I
Yeah, we can do it for a couple of years, but it'll deplete all of our,
unless we
Our
find
reserves.
additional revenue sources. My whole thing with ISO is, I guess I don't understand, Jackson Township's at a 10, and we are what we are, how can
they're not a 10.
I thought they went to a 10.
I don't think so.
My
That's what
understanding
I
is they went
heard.
to a 10.
They're in the
But-
retrogression plan.
But now, because I think the fire chief and someone else is gonna stay on call,
Oh, they are gonna enter retrogression after all?
then they're going to reconsider them, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, that Chief Carter said that he would go into the cab along with his assistant because he lives three minutes from the station, I think he said.
Yeah, something like that.
So
But yeah, that's, to me, based on that call, it's very clear they are in a retrogression plan, just like we are. And it also did come up that they are basically having two people that are on call 24/7, that if there's a structure fire, they're gonna be on the truck. Because before that change, they were changing that in the CAD, like at the day after that call.
Yeah.
And before that, I think they were out of compliance, so. I think it's a good question, Joe. I think it's, what are we trying to achieve? And then, Eric brings up a great point, like, what we're doing now as the town of Cicero is not sustainable long-term. We got some real issues.
Unless we get additional funding. And to go from 4 people on a truck, hopefully, to 2, we're moving the safety of our citizens back 10 years. And it's not safe for the people on the truck, because what if the other truck gets in an accident? You guys have gone through the 101 training. 2 people can't fight a fire. I just think we're leaving.
So in reality, Emily, our 4 people don't fight a fire. You get support from everybody. They're first on scene, but you have I don't know what the right term is, a house that's on fire, severely on fire. I mean, everybody around comes. Because
Sure.
4 people can't safely fight that.
Sure, but they can't really start. I mean, 2 people, 1 person can take the hose out, someone's gotta stay with the truck. I mean,
Yes.
I just think we need to stay on our course and,
Well, do you have recommendations on funding sources?
well, we may have additional funding, we'll have to see what the future brings us, but yes, I know it is a problem with the funding, but I'd rather be honest and above board and have people there working a fire than not.
If we were to continue to explore the territory, what would be the next steps?
I think probably, I'm not 100% sure, probably a fiscal study.
I mean, I guess the fiscal study for me is where a lot of the questions still lie.
And it's 40 cents on every 1,000?
Every 100. Yeah, 100.
Of assessed value. We had about $1 billion of assessed value. Somewhere in that neighborhood.
You're talking about that's what the tax rate would be, right?
Yeah, 40 cents per 100.
What's the cost of a fiscal study? We don't
I
know.
don't know.
Who would even do that? Would that be a?
And we've had it done, I think we did it long ago.
Yeah, well, originally when the territory was discussed, it was probably the last time, right?
I think Lance did one a few years ago.
I think you did too.
Oh, so actually the fire department carried it.
No, you go.
No, they had
They-
it done.
okay.
They had it done.
Gotcha. I mean, for me, I've always said, due diligence is key. I mean, it's, if there's information still to be had, I think it's worth exploring.
I think we'd also have to hire an attorney that specializes in territories
Yeah.
as well, so.
Before we even go down that, I want to bring up something that's not going to be fun, but and before we go spend money on that stuff, I think there's got to be a conversation. You have to have one department that's in charge of the territory, and if we don't have some consensus on whether it would be the township or the town department, if we can't get agreement on that,
Would that be spelled out in the territory?
yeah, it has to
Yeah,
be.
it has to
It would
be.
be.
Yeah.
Well, I think they form a board, and there's members on the board from everyone who's
Correct.
participating, and then I think the board votes for who's in charge.
Well, you have a providing department, or a providing.
They're the one that's like of record, right?
For all the financial part, yes.
I know there are people that have strong opinions about that. I don't know that, maybe I do, I don't know, but I know some people have very strong opinions about who that department is. And I feel like if that's gonna be a critical point, we might as well
Yeah, we might as well tackle that now.
figure out if that can be resolved now, or if people can't get an agreement on that, then we might as well not waste a bunch of money.
I absolutely agree with that, so I believe Jackson Township would want that responsibility.
I would think so.
What's that do
They
from
would.
a hierarchy standpoint? Like, would we still have I mean, obviously, we,
But then there's a board that makes up that, and then we would have the equal amount of participants on that board. We would have to set that.
well, my,
All that means is they would own the dollars.
so, but we would still have a department chief.
No, there's only one chief.
There would only be one
Well, you
chief.
could set it up however you wanted. I'm assuming financially, it would make most sense to have one chief.
I'm not willing to spend any more money. Spend any money on it. I know how I feel. I know I've spoke to people in the meeting and spoke to the fire department. So,
I myself am still in favor of looking. I don't know that Cicero needs to have control of the dollars at this point. I mean, we are a community that's in this problem together. So I think it's still worthwhile. And for me personally, I wouldn't have a problem letting Jackson Township manage those funds. What we're doing today is it's not realistic that we're able to, we're gonna burn through our reserves, and if there are additional funding sources, I mean, we have other things that we would love to do with some of those dollars. So, it's out of control at the moment, in my opinion.
I agree, it's definitely not sustainable. So we have to figure something out, and I don't know if the territory is the right thing or not. I don't have a problem continuing to have discussions and evaluate. My personal opinion would be, let's maybe we could ask Aaron to write up a summary or something to say, okay, here's what governance of the township looks like, or maybe there's a document out there that exists, right, from AIM or somebody, I don't know, but here's what the governance, here's what the board looks like, here goes on who goes on that board, here's what it means to be the primary whatever, right, entity or whatever. I'd like to personally have a better understanding of that, and then again, I just feel like that discussion needs to be had probably in depth between town leadership and the township to figure out if there's going to be any agreement there before we go waste dollars on studies. That's where
Do you have a dead set direction of who's the primary?
No, I don't, because that's why I'm looking for some sort of summary, because I don't really understand enough to know if I think it matters that much, if it's them or us, because I don't understand enough about how the board's comprised and all that. I may end up where you are, where I don't think it matters that much, or I may feel like it matters a lot. I just don't know enough.
Aaron may have a template from previously because there was a territory before.
Okay.
I think he was involved with that, if I'm not mistaken. So he may have a rough template anyway that you would be able to look at from when they had the previous territory.
And I'm sure statute says it's the board's this many members, and I'm sure that stuff's. I just need to go read it probably.
What was the ultimate reason they didn't go to the territory the last time this was brought up?
Well, they had a territory, they dissolved it.
Okay.
Well, with Cicero, I think you're asking, right?
Well, there was
discussion even with Cicero long ago.
That's what I'm talking
And
about.
then there were personality conflicts, I would say is the best way to say it. Would you agree?
I think that's a fair statement.
It's a control situation.
Yeah, I believe it was about control.
I think that was part of it, and the cost. How much it would cost us.
At that time, I don't think it was the 40 cents on the 100.
didn't exist, right?
Yeah, I don't believe. So then the other part of it is any debt that the fire department has carries on with that community.
Right.
So I think we're in pretty decent shape other than the ambulance, if we move forward with that ambulance.
And they've got, what,
Yeah, we don't have any debt. They don't have any debt.
you said we do not.
The fire department, their ambulance, the fire trucks are paid. I think that even their equipment may
It
be up
would
for
be-
renewal. It's
If
minimal.
there is, it'd be very minimal.
It's minimal.
So the big one would be the fire station up in Jackson Township.
Well, they would be responsible for that.
That's theirs. They,
Yeah, we would, so
Oh, that wouldn't come, what?
that's not taxed, that doesn't go to ours.
They-
So that 40 cents doesn't cover that.
Everybody
expense.
keeps their own debt.
Yeah, everybody keeps. their
Oh,
own.
But then if you
I-
go build
I
a
thought
new
it
fire station in a territory, then in the
Yes.
future,
Then
then,
it would.
yeah.
gotcha. Okay,
Right.
that's what I misunderstood. I thought you meant any debt was assumed by the partnering.
Each
Entities.
community holds their own existing debt.
So Jackson Township could theoretically have, oh, it doesn't come out of that 40 cents, so they're funding
Correct.
that
They just
independently.
have to figure out how to pay for it,
Gotcha.
long term. And so would we, and then,
Gotcha. I mean, without having all the information, it's hard for me to say yay or nay one way or the other, but to that point, I guess, I'm not opposed to getting that information.
ready.
So then, Dan, would you mind reaching out to Aaron? Do you want me to?
No, I can do that.
Thank you. And then Rhonda, congratulations on the excess levy.
I was
Yeah.
so
Great
excited.
job.
Man,
Great
That's
job.
great.
Huh?
How much was it again?
255,000. I applied for 322, but they gave me two.
was this the last year we can do it?
It is. I've done 3 of them actually. Yeah.
Nice.
Now that I'm getting good at them, I can't do them anymore.
Right?
Why can't we do it anymore?
I don't know.
SB1.
Pardon me?
SB1.
Is that it? Yeah, I think it was SB1
Yeah,
actually.
it was SB1.
But yeah, 255,000 was such a. That was so cool. There's 2 of my firefighters.
Yeah, right.
That's all I thought. There's 2
Yeah, it's a big
firefighters.
deal. We needed that money.
A little bit of breathing room. So thank you, by the way.
All right, so we'll continue to do our due diligence there then. Anybody have anything else?
I guess, sorry, going back to the territory. So if I follow up with Robin, I just need to let her know that maybe we need to sit down and have a bigger discussion, maybe even a public discussion, what that board would look like and
Dude, we just need
who's
information.
the primary.
Mhm.
That would be helpful to me.
And I'd like to see some kind of timelines and the actual steps required, which I'm sure, like Jacob said, is already laid out there somewhere.
Bring my glasses, I can't see.
Yeah, Dan, if you talk to Aaron, we're not asking him to recreate the wheel. I mean, if we find AIM or Association of Counties or somebody's already put together something, I'm sure somebody's put together a summary of some
Oh,
type.
sure. Maybe not us, actually. Let's go look at my stuff.
So you said timeline, board makeup, primary.
And I guess timelines kind of steps involved, or what all would be involved. I just
Pretty
want to
lengthy
have
process. I think it's pretty lengthy.
the process of it.
Isn't it pretty lengthy? Do you remember? It's pretty lengthy, isn't it?
It's gonna take probably a couple of years.
I just want to understand
Yeah.
everything before I can definitively say yea or nay. Good? Anybody have anything else? If not, I will entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank y'all.
Don't forget to sign the documents.